Guys, you're welcome to the weekly forecast on EU USD, Euro USD. Right now, we're looking at EU. Now, this is our weekly forecast, which we just began doing on EU. Normally, we just do GDP USD since we started doing it. But last week, we decided to do week 8 on EU USD and Euro USD. And now we're doing again Euro USD for week 9. So I want you to pay attention. Now, if you want to understand what we did last week, you'll be able to watch the video and see what happened, because we're looking at a breakup structure here and a pullback. If the market breaks structure, which it did, we saw the market broke structure on this key candle here. So let me just quickly show you. Here we have a breakup structure right there. We have another structure which is expected to be broken, not yet. So we have another structure which is expected to be broken, not yet. This is weekly time frame, remember. So now we have these structures. This was broken and massively broken, that there was no pullback until this structure was broken. So we have a massive pullback. Now, this pullback, okay, that you're seeing should be looked at this key level. Okay, at this key level right here. Now, if you see that the market pushed all the way up, this is weekly time frame. Okay, the market pushed all the way up. So for those of you that trade Fibonacci retracement, definitely you would like to use let me see. A point of interest could be, I think point of interest is fine. Let's say you're looking at this area here, this region, okay? And you want to look at the point of interest around that level, you see? So we're taking this high, okay, to that high. So this zone is a point of interest, but I feel this zone here is a 50% level of this whole push up. So I feel that the sell is still going to proceed on EU. We still expect a drop to this key level. Okay, we still expect a drop to that key level before another pullback, probably a bounce off to take up this high, and then we'll not see an upside. Now, the reason I'm looking at that is because of structure. Now we can see that already on EU that the market was selling. Massive sell has been going on, weekly time frame, massive sell, weekly time frame. And then we see that the market broke that trend and started breaking structure. So now the downtrend has been prevailing. We have higher, lower high. We have lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, lower high. Oh, this is a lower low there, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then the market pushed up to break this structure. We had a small pullback and then pushed up again to break this structure. Now we're having a real massive pullback. So this is exactly what I'm what I'm anticipating, excuse me. What I'm anticipating is going to happen on EU. So we have a confluence here that the market needs to drop all the way down to the zone before a pullback up. So what do you think is going to happen here? Well, where price is at now is very close to 1.0500. So if we look at this zone where the price is now, from here where the price is to this zone, that would be about 200 to 300 pips. All right, that's about 300 pips. So to the downside. So we still expect that this week, EU will still sell more, about 200 to 300 pips to the downside, looking at it from the weekly time frame. Now, we're not going to conclude on that until we look at what the daily is saying. Now, structure-wise, we can see daily, if you look at the market structure, we have where the market started reversing was earlier than the weekly. Okay, we see that structure-wise, let me just stay with this. From here, we have this trend line, okay? We have this trend line, and we saw that the market broke this trend line and then created a new high by taking out this structure here and then taking out this structure. So it pulled back into that zone, and then the market started pushing back up to take out this structure. You see, it just rally up. Now, we also see another issue here where we have a trend line to the bottom side. Okay, we have this trend line coming up. I want you to pay attention to this. Okay, we have this trend line. Okay, wow. Now this is beautiful because we have first touch, second touch, so the market is coming down here, right? This zone, remember the zone, we got it from the weekly time frame, right? Okay, now we're looking at the market coming down to this level, okay, which would be a massive intersection here. Looking at massive intersection. So we have two major trend line that the market is going to intersect with, coupled with the 50% retracement of the Fibonacci at this level. So looking at this key area here, we should be expecting the market to react at this level, this key area. So we should be expecting a retracement within this key zone. So from here to this zone could be a possible sell. There could be opportunity to sell more this week, and then before a pullback to the upside. So expect price action at this level. Now, how is it going to happen? Of course, watch out for the trend line, touch, rebounds, rejection. We see this trend line and this trend line. So pay attention to these two trend lines here and this one. So you need to pay attention to them. When price get here, what's going to do? What's going to do? Is it going to play around, break below this one, retest and drop, break below and drop, keep dropping? Or is it going to bounce off and then retest and then push up higher and higher? Those are the things you want to pay attention to. So this week, first of all, we can tell that there are multiple confluences here to look at, especially if you're looking at it from the daily. I could see another trend line here, which was already broken. Now, that may not look very professionally put because EU, sometimes when you're putting a trend line, there's difficulty trying to position trend line on EU sometimes. So if you go to the 4-hour time frame, let's see if we can have a good trend line on 4-hour time frame. Not much a good one, but several trend line has been put there. So we can see that still we are selling. This is a sell region right now. So we still have more opportunity for price to sell to this zone, about 300 pips or 250 pips, which is not a bad thing for a scalper or even a day trader. You'll be able to have this opportunity smash right there before a major pullback. Now, if the market begins to rally back up, how would you know? This trend line here, I want to pay attention to this trend line. All right, let me take that box out of there. Pay attention to this trend line here at the bottom, which is on the 4-hour time frame. That is where you should be expecting a buy trade. So expect a buy trade at this level zone, at this zone here, and then that will be targeting the high for the week. But you need to wait for price action. So if you're already in a sell, just wait to take your profit at somewhere about 1.0300. So a short to take your profit there and wait for price action at this key level. So this is what you're going to be looking at on EU, where either you're going to be selling or you're going to be buying. You need to pay attention to those key areas, which is very, very important. Pay attention to these key areas that I just highlighted, so you'll be able to trade it effectively. So EU still selling until we have a confirmation at 1.300. So 1.0300 will be the key level whereby we'll be looking at a possible reaction, which align with the trend line, align with the 50% Fibonacci retracement, and also align with the psychological level on EU. So look at that. Very important, very important. So it is a bit interesting to see that the market has different structure, all right, to follow, but you need to understand what it's doing overall from the higher time frame, and then be able to position yourself to get into the trade. Now, if this trade, like you see here on this 4-hour, all right, gives you a pullback by tomorrow morning, a pullback, all right, then you should expect probably price tapping into that zone and rejecting to create another new lower high. And then that should be a sell zone for you to sell. But watch out for this. This can happen. The market can keep dropping all the way down here, or do a pullback and drop again, and then before buying from there. So pay attention to that key zone. I'm expecting price action at that key zone for a buy. All right. And how did I know? The daily time frame speak louder. So we can see that this whole push, take that out, this whole push to the upside, then now we're having a reasonable retracement of this whole massive push. So you need to pay attention to this whole push that the market did to the upside. Okay, so now we're having a reasonable pullback. You say, what about this pullback? What about this pullback? No, those are not strong pullback. If you consider this whole thing on a higher time frame, like the weekly, you will know that this is just one move to the upside on the weekly time frame. So let me just show you that on the weekly. You see that that's just one move to the upside. So that shows that the real retracement is taking place right now. And that's what you need to focus on, okay? And then you get an entry at that key level. Watch out for price action and what it might do to give you a buy to the upside. So on EU, we still have more drop to the downside to 1.300 or 1.0300 or 3,000. Yeah, that's a psychological level. And then from there, we should look at price action for a reasonable buy, because that would be the zone of interest for price to start looking for a buy opportunity to the upside. Okay, yeah, that's it, guys, for EU. So for those of you trading EU, trade wisely. You still have about 200, 300 pips to the downside, and then able to cash that pips and then look for a buy. If you're scalping, be careful, watch out for those opportunities as well, and enjoy your trade this week. So if you have watched my GU analysis forecast of week 9, go watch it, because I talked about the factory, the forest factory calendar, the economic calendar news, and what you need to look for and how to trade it as well. So don't miss out on that. So the video is up here, you'll be able to watch it. And thank you so much, guys, for all that you're doing. Subscribe and join us on our Telegram group, and you will enjoy all of the opportunities that are there on the Telegram group. Massive opportunities that we give to our followers there, especially those guys who are new to forex trading. We are really doing so much to help them out in the market space. So thank you, guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.